Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
I wasn't not going to the police. I mean, I'm just like, at this point, this is scarier than anything else we've ever endured. So, yeah, we have to go to the police.
The woman you see here claims to be one of the anonymous tipsters who found the body of 11-year-old Jacqueline Torres Garcia. She came forward today at the young girl's memorial. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Hart.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The woman recounted the chilling details of finding that storage bin, hoping it was full of clothes, only to realize it contained a body.
Fox 61's Jamel Johnson has her story on the moments leading up to the discovery.
Behind me is the abandoned home where police found the body of Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. But a woman we spoke with who goes by Love says she and her friend are the ones who reported the crime to New Britain police. Since her memorial was created, dozens of people have come to pay their respects to Mimi. One of them was Love, who says she was the anonymous tipster who helped New Britain police find the 11-year-old's body.
I wanted to believe it was a bin of clothes. I really didn't want to believe it was a body. Your heart races. Your heart races.
Love says her friend knew the 11-year-old's mother's boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita. She says he started to leave breadcrumbs in their conversations about killing someone and where the body was.
He kind of just told the wrong person where she was, and we came and investigated it, and it was a body. Jonathan kind of told on himself, really.
Love says Nanita told her friend the person who was killed was a, quote, bad man and that they, quote, deserved it. She says they launched a self-investigation to find the body, but were shocked when it turned out to be Mimi's.
I was disgusted, but I had a feeling anyways it was a human, because she did tell me that he said it was a bad man. So I was disgusted. I was devastated when I found out it was a little girl.
She says their discovery led New Britain police to this house on Clark Street, where they recovered the storage bin, and the autopsy confirmed the body's identity to belong to Mimi. Since the discovery, police have arrested Anita, the girl's mother Carla Garcia, and her aunt Jacqueline Garcia. After learning about the prolonged abuse police say Mimi endured, Love wishes someone could have saved her, but says she's glad they found her when they did.
She deserves her peace. And I'm happy I could do that for her family.
New Britain police and DCF say they made contact with other children who belong to the family, but those children are safe. In New Britain, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Now to the courtroom. All three suspects in this case were in front of a judge for the first time today in Litchfield. The girl's mother, aunt, and mother's boyfriend are accused of playing a role in Mimi's death.
Now, Fox 61's Alicia Hercules was there in court today, and she brings us more from the arraignment.
It was an emotional day in the courtroom as loved ones gathered to watch the people arrested in connection with the death of 11-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia face a judge. Several emotional people had to be removed from the courtroom for shouting at the suspects.
To a third degree. She was placed on 1 year suspended, 2 years probation.
Carla Garcia, the 11-year-old's mother, could be heard crying before being brought into the crowded courtroom. The state says she's had a history of mental health issues. Garcia and her boyfriend Jonathan Nanita, who also appeared in court, are charged with several offenses, including murder with special circumstances and risk of injury to a child. Police had difficulty finding Nanita, but he was arrested a day after Garcia. They're both being held on $5 million bond. Jacqueline Garcia, the victim's aunt, also appeared in court. She's been charged with several offenses, including unlawful restraint of a child and intent cruelty to a child. She's being held on a $1 million bond. The state asked the judge to require all three suspects to cooperate with the State Department of Children and Families investigation, but the judge denied that request. The warrants in this case have been sealed. Several heartbroken loved ones left the courtroom wearing shirts with the 11-year-old's face on them. Police believe the girl died in the fall of 2024. They say she had been the victim of prolonged abuse and malnutrition and was killed while the family lived in Farmington. Investigators say her body was kept in the basement of the family home and was moved with them when they relocated to New Britain. They say she was homeschooled, which, quote, limited the community's ability to recognize that she was missing. All three suspects have been ordered to have no contact with each other and 4 other protected individuals. The trio is expected back in court on November 14th. In Torrington, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
Well, new at 6, a Rocky Hill man pleaded guilty to all charges today in a deadly boat crash from July of 2023. Kerry Sheltra pleaded guilty in Middletown court to manslaughter, assault, and risk of injury to a minor charges. He's expected to serve more than 3 years of jail time and probation combined. Investigators say back on July 10th, Sheltra lost control of the boat in the Connecticut River in Portland, crashed into the rocks along the shore, and everyone was thrown overboard. Encon police say 7 people, including 2 children, got hurt. 60-year-old Wayne Hamler from Waterford died. The Hamler family says justice was not served today.
This is never going to end for us. It may end for Kerry Sheltra, but for us it's, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. It's never going to end for us.
The victim's brother says once someone became friends with his brother, Hamler, he was their friend for life. Sheltra is out on bond and scheduled to be sentenced January 21st.
The U.S. Supreme Court denied an appeal from Alex Jones today. He was trying to overturn the $1.4 billion defamation judgment against him for repeatedly saying the Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax. Juries in Connecticut and Texas found him liable for defamation and emotional distress. The Connecticut jury returned that $1.4 billion verdict, while the Texas jury said he owes $49 million in damages. Jones has yet to pay any money to the Sandy Hook families, but may have to liquidate his InfoWars platform to begin to do so.
Well, Connecticut State Police have disciplined 7 more troopers in a traffic ticket scandal. That's a total of 18 officers now. The penalties vary among the troopers, from a letter of reprimand to multi-day suspensions. Multiple reports say some troopers created unverified tickets to make themselves look more productive during a 3-year period. That means a ticket or infraction was listed within a traffic stop record, but there was no matching ticket found in court records. State police say there were no tickets issued ever. DESPP's Commissioner Ronell Higgins says investigators didn't find evidence that any of the troopers intended bias or tried to conceal racial profiling. In the meantime, Connecticut State Police have hired a data scientist and launched an online public traffic stop tool. They've also expanded supervision, training, and improved data management.
A West Haven man's been arrested. Police say he tried pulling a gun on an officer. Police were called to the West Haven Walmart around 8:30 last night for a shoplifting report. When they got there, officers recognized 18-year-old Kamari Outlaw from previous arrests. When asked if he had any weapons on him, Outlaw reportedly reached toward his waistband to grab a weapon. Officers say they stopped him and found he was carrying a loaded gun. Outlaw's been charged with carrying without a permit and assault on an officer.
Well, police say a woman was hospitalized after her car was hit head-on by a wrong-way driver. Police say 20-year-old Mia Falzone of Glastonbury was hurt in the crash on Route 2 in East Hartford Sunday. They say 24-year-old Nolan Murphy Genoa was driving the wrong way near exit 2B when he hit Falzone and kept on driving. State troopers later found and arrested him. He now faces charges of operating under the influence, reckless driving, and reckless endangerment.
2 people were forced out of their home in Norwalk after this house fire. It happened just before 4 this morning on East Avenue. Fire officials say everyone was able to get out safely. No one was hurt. They say the fire was confined to the basement, but the whole building has smoke damage. They're still trying to figure out how the fire started. The U.S. Coast Guard says its service members will receive their mid-month paycheck during the ongoing government shutdown, and they should get it sometime between tomorrow and Friday. The government has been shut down since October 1st. Some 750,000 federal workers have been furloughed, but many are still required to show up to work because they're deemed essential, like the Coast Guard. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said on social media agencies worked out a solution to make sure the Coast Guard is being paid.
Well, one pumpkin has quickly become the talk of Tolland as the 30-foot inflatable took a turn after a tear. And now the man behind the pumpkin is raising money to bring back his inflatable attraction. Fox 61's Victoria Anderson has the story.
What's black and orange and 30 feet tall? No, it's not that. That's nothing compared to the ghoulish gourd that has been a Halloween hotspot in Tolland for over 4 years, until the pumpkin pop heard around the world.
I hear like what sounds like a thud, and then I look out the window and the kids across the street are screaming and crying. and I see an orange mass just laying on the ground.
He may be laughing now, but that moment felt like a cruel trick rather than a treat to Halloween fanatic Christopher Farley. Or as his 6-foot Jack Skellington would call him,
80-watt floodlight.
Wow.
So they're driven 4 feet into the ground. Well, they see me at Tractor Supply Co. and they run and hide.
The man may strike fear in the hearts of supply stores across the state, but his home is the Halloween hotspot for kids of all ages, all thanks to one 30-foot gourd.
So, originally I was like, oh, I'll get a tiny little pumpkin and throw it in the yard, but then it really kind of exploded and I was like, why not just get a massive pumpkin?
The Great Tolland Pumpkin reigned over trick-or-treaters for almost 4 years, until
I told Victoria, my girlfriend, and I was like, the pumpkin's popped. She goes, what?
a tear terrorized Farley as canvas pumpkin guts sprayed across his front yard.
People were noticeably upset, as I was as well.
It didn't take long for fans in the Great Tolland Pumpkin Facebook page to send money after hearing the pop and seeing the smaller fill-in inflatable.
I need something to hold people over.
Do you think it's an addiction?
Maybe.
In less than a day, an order was placed for a newer, bigger, and hopefully sturdier pumpkin.
People could spend way more money on way stupider things.
And with nearly $2,000 extra sitting in the fundraiser, Farley wanted to pass on the love to a cause that is as close to his heart as Halloween is.
Decided Tolland Pound's going to be the way to go.
The fundraiser is still open as locals await the arrival of the next great Tolland pumpkin.
As long as people are engaged with it, I'm going to keep doing it. I have no signs of stopping this. I just want people to enjoy it.
And we will have a link to that fundraiser on our website at fox61.com if you want to check that out. And we will keep you updated for when the Great Tolland Pumpkin is back in action. Reporting in Tolland, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.